we bring in a friend who we've known for years and years and years. He's an author, relationship therapist, Dr. R.G. Alan Wilson.
Some expert advice on how we can all talk to them. Joining us now is relationship expert Dr. R.G. Alan Wilson. She's the author of Courageous Conversations Connect. Good morning, R.G.
Doctor, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Janelle. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
And as we mentioned, a lot of people just dealing with anxiety during all of this. What are your suggestions?
Some of the things that we need to remember is that this is temporary. This is temporary inconvenience for long-term gain. And as long as we stay healthy, Janelle, then everything else is recoverable.
Talk to your children about what's happening right now. What are the best ways to do that?
There's some do's and don'ts, right? So you want to tell them that you're going to be here. We're going to be okay. Kids want to know that they're secure and they're safe. So predictability, structure, and consistency. You also want to let them know you have a plan. And even if you don't have a plan, tell them that you're working on one.
And good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is yours truly, Dr. RG for Courageous Conversations Connect Quarantine Talks. Oh my goodness, this is December 9th, believe it or not, 2020. This is a 10 o'clock show and we are here talking about Finish Strong. That's the topic for today. And so we missed you last week. Guys, I wasn't feeling very well. And so we took the day off, if you will, but we are back to finish strong. And it's going to be a great conversation about what we learned this year. 2020 has been a thing, right? You hear me? 2020 has been a thing. But I'm saying don't cancel 2020. We need to not delete 2020. 2020 has a lot to teach us. And so we're going to talk about how we finish strong in December 2020 with 3 weeks out until we move into the new year. So I already see BJ on. Good morning, BJ. Good morning, Charla. I see Charlotte. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome to all of our crew. Welcome to those persons who are joining us on YouTube, as well as Facebook, as well as IG. I don't think we're on IG yet, but they will be on IG shortly. And so welcome to all of you. If you haven't done this yet, make sure that you tell other people, tag a friend, share this video. Make sure you go on over to YouTube or tell other people to go over to the YouTube page. Ask Dr. RG, AskDrArgie. That's Ask Dr. RG. Click the subscribe button and then also the notification button. All right. So listen, and like. Morgan says like, right? Like and share this video. This is for everyone, not just in our crew, but we want to expand our crew. When we go into 2021, we want to be very, very strong in terms of our numbers so that we can share this information. I see Helen on. Good morning, Helen. I see Deborah on. Good morning. Welcome to all of you. Again, this is the Courageous Conversations Connect space where we have our quarantine talks. I see Carla on too. Hey, Carla. Yes, just 3 weeks, believe it or not, to 2021. Do you believe it? Oh my goodness, Carla, I just saw something on your Facebook about you having a beautiful dinner for your family. I think for your 93-year-old grandfather and maybe some other birthdays. We just had a birthday celebration. So shout out to my dad, Hildred G. Allen. We just celebrated his 85th birthday yesterday. I didn't really post because it was a pretty long day. So I'm going to post some of the pictures of our celebration. Morgan and I went over there. We had masks on and it was very small and quaint and intimate. And he just loved it. He loved our present. We bought him a globe. His face lit up and we just had a really good time. We had some cake and ice cream and shared stories. And maybe we had a couple glasses of wine too, just to relax. But he really had a good time. So for all of you all who gave him well wishes for his 85th birthday, he said he did not think that he would make it to 85. And he did, right? He said, I prayed for 40. And then, God gave me way more than I even asked for. So he's a happy man. Thank you, Carla. I said happy birthday to my dad. So listen, we are going to take a quick break from our sponsors and then we're going to come back and get right into it. At 10:10, you all know what we do. We still do our breathing exercises. So think about who you're breathing for and with. We're going to do our breathing. I'm going to encourage you to continue to do that, not only throughout the day, but throughout the weeks. Throughout, the next couple of weeks, I want you to really get level up when you're breathing so you can build up that oxygen in your body and as well as in your lung capacity. So we will be right back. Stay with us. Strong. I was just talking to our IG family. Hey guys, this is Dr. RG here, and I want you all to get into your postures. We got about 3 minutes for more people to come on. I see, Nicole. Hey, Nicole. She said, good morning, Dr. RG and Morgan. Happy birthday to Dad. I see Monica. Hey, Monica. Good morning. She said, hi, Dr. RG. So we got the crew here. Y'all know what crew stands for. Connecting relationships for epic wins, right? That's what the crew stands for. So I thank God for our crew. And yeah, Carla's, we got the crew talking to each other, Carla and Monica trying to hook up or what have you. And yeah, we need to do that a little bit more. We need to stay connected. Y'all know our brand is Connections Matter, which we really do believe connections matter. And even in the midst of all of this, I want to, just make sure people understand that they need to get the help that they need. To be honest with you, I want to encourage people to look out for the strong ones. I have had a lot of clients who I believe are extremely strong, and yet they're still having challenges as well, right? Because this is a challenging time. These are unprecedented times. We haven't been down this road before in this way, right? With a pandemic, really, as I say all the time, we're battling two pandemics, right? We're battling COVID-19, which is certainly a challenge. And then we're battling systemic racism that we've been doing for 401 years and all the social inequities and injustices that plague our society. It's very interesting to me that, there are people on one camp or the side of the camp or the other. There are people on the side of the camp that don't want to wear a mask. They feel like it's their right to not wear a mask. And I'm like, are you kidding me? People have been wearing masks. We've been going to work and school and community churches and faith-based organizations wearing masks for a very, very long time, right? I call it the invisible mask, the mask that masks your racism, the mask that masks your esteem, the mask that, masks the way in which you really feel, that maybe the imposter syndrome where you are on a job, but you think that you're not worthy of it. We've been wearing masks, right? And so if the medical professionals are encouraging us to wear a cloth mask to save our lives and to save someone else's life, I think we should do it. And we've got almost 300,000 people that I'm sure now that they are, they're no longer here, their family members are rethinking things perhaps in terms of what we can do to help others and what we can do to help ourselves. So, hey, Dr. Gail is on as well. Tell me who you all are breathing for and with. Today, I am breathing for all the essential workers, those persons that are still out there on the front lines with the second wave. They call it the twindemics, right? Because we're battling not only the systemic racism, as I just talked about, but we're battling both the flu season and COVID-19. And they're working on a vaccine, which is great, right? But it's not here yet. And from my understanding, it's going to go to the nursing people in nursing homes and the essential workers, medical professionals that are in harm's way, hospitals, things like that first, and then be distributed to the larger society, if you will. So we got some time, right? But we are just like a marathon. As I said in the very beginning, this is a marathon, not a sprint, right? So just like in a marathon, the hardest part is at the very end. That's why I'm entitling today, Finish Strong. I want to know what we can do. I want you all to share with the crew what you can do to finish strong. But before we do that, we're going to go into our breathing. Nicole says breathing for all the high school students everywhere. Our children are on the brink. Oh my goodness. Yes. So let's breathe for the children in school. that are struggling with this online and long distance learning. It's very difficult. I have a lot of young people in my practice and they're really struggling. They're doing well. They need an opportunity to externalize their emotions. So the therapy gives them the opportunity to do that, but they're still struggling. And by the way, the college students are struggling too, because this is not how they intended their season to be. You know, they intended to be on college campuses and hanging out with their friends, and they're still at home. So we're breathing for them. I'm breathing for those essential workers, frontline workers out there, whomever they are, right? Medical professionals, mental health professionals, breathing for, bus drivers and sanitation workers and, pharmacy workers and anyone out there that has to put themselves out on the front lines in order to take care of the community. But yet at the same time, they are in harm's way to this deadly virus. I'm breathing for them. Y'all tell me, hey, my bestie Kimmy's on. Hey, Kimmy, it's good to see you. Tell me who you're breathing for and with today. I want you guys to get into your postures, get your backs erect, right? Loosen your shoulders. I've been really tight lately, so I kind of do these exercises with my head, turn it this way and this way. I'm trying to get a range of motion, but loosen up. Put your middle finger to your thumb, or you can put one hand over the next, or you can put your hands to your side, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And when we breathe, Carla says, I'm breathing for my massage therapist who said that she was so stressed that I was so stressed that my back felt like cement block. Oh my gosh. I just went to a massage therapist too, and it wasn't pretty either, Carla. So yeah, we need to be breathing for the massage therapist and for their clients so that we can kind of loosen up. But this is where this breathing exercise does help a lot. Dr. Gail says, I'm breathing for my dear friend's mother, age 96, who has COVID-19. Oh my goodness. And is fighting for her life. I'm breathing for my friend, her daughter, and all the people suffering. That's a good way. That's a good thing to breathe for. And we're going to be breathing for your friend's mother as well, who's 93 and suffering from COVID-19. A lot of people who can't breathe right now who have COVID-19. So we're breathing for them. All right. So at the sound of my voice, when I count to 3, you're going to breathe in through the nose, hold it for 8 seconds, and out through the mouth, right? Take very, very deep breaths. We still honor George Floyd and his justice and many others, Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery and Rayshard Brooks and all those people that have died at the hands of police officers for no good reason other than systemic racism. So we're breathing for them, but we're holding it for 8 seconds and we're breathing out. All right. Monica says she's breathing for fellow teachers, and this is rough, y'all. Yeah, teachers are struggling. So we're breathing for the teachers as well. Awesome. So 1, 2, 3, breathe in. And breathe out. 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 Last time, make it count, crew. Breathe in. And breathe out. That felt good, right? Right? So keep doing that. Keep breathing. You got to get the oxygen in your body. There's people who can't breathe right now. People who have come down with this deadly virus, COVID-19, and they're struggling right now in this moment to breathe. People who've been put on ventilators because they can't breathe. People who just can't get oxygen in their body. We know that we need to breathe in order to live. So keep doing that throughout the day. I guarantee you it will impact you mentally, emotionally, physically. It affects the parasympathetic nervous system, so it readjusts things in your body. It brings in this dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin, and it reduces the cortisol and the adrenaline. By the way, you all know that when you are in a constant state of stress, like what's been going on over the last 9 months. And when you haven't allowed yourself to breathe, when you haven't done good self-care, we're going to do sort of a review this today, right? Of what we've learned finishing strong. When you haven't done those things, then ultimately your body fills with cortisol and it stays in a state of attack, right? Or on edge. Cortisol really, the body is meant for us, our bodies to produce that particular hormone in order for us to be in a state of fight when we feel like we're threatened, like if we're in the jungle and a bear is chasing us. Then everything shuts down because we don't need to digest food, we don't need to eat, we don't need to sleep. We're in a fight. And that's what it feels like we've been in, a constant fight, right? And so we've got to be radical with our self-care. Y'all know in the book, and by the way, we've got a new edition out. We did some revamps on this. So we've got a whole new stack of these ready to go out, be a good Christmas present. The first chapter is radical self-care and action, right? And why I chose the first chapter to be radical self-care and action is because how are we going to be good to anybody else if we can't be good to ourselves? My goodness, the hubby must have something to say.
Well, I want to make sure we're clear. Okay. The new version, you have to get the book. You have to go on to drrgconnects.com, the website. It's drrgconnects.com. Don't go to Amazon. We want you to come directly to the site. Okay. I know some people would have special deals, whatever, but we just ask you to please support us by going directly to the site, which is drrgconnects.com, to purchase the second edition of the book. All right. That's what I wanted to be clear about.
Thanks, babe. Right. I probably would have forgotten that. So for sure.
That's what you had me for, babe. That's what you had me for.
That's right. That's what I got you for. To remind me, and vice versa. So yeah, get the book. BJ is saying she's breathing for the people still working, which gives me the opportunity to travel safely during the holidays to visit people I love. Awesome. And for those of you, BJ reminds us, for those of you who are traveling, please be safe. Please be safe out there. We were going to travel, Morgan and I, to go visit our family in Florida. We made a decision right now not to do that because we didn't want to take the chance of, contracting this virus maybe in our transit on the flight or what have you. And then, we would feel horrible if we, gave that to our loved ones. So we're going to hold off until this vaccine is here, and we're going to do our necessary research to make sure that we're making the right decisions, and then we'll begin to travel. In the meantime, we're going to enjoy what we have. Too often, I think that we tend to focus on what we don't have versus what we do have. So we're going to focus on what we do have. And Carla, she's always an advocate. She's saying, yes, buy Black, support Black businesses. And I've been posting some things about various Black businesses as well as Carla has been. Our Black businesses need us, right? And, it's important that we support our community. If we don't, our communities will continue to struggle, and we won't elevate. And we want to all rise up together. So think about that during the holiday season. It's going to look very, very different. I understand that, but try to make sure that you support the Black businesses. Is very, very essential for us to continue to survive. More?
Hey, just didn't want to miss this opportunity since we're talking about Black businesses. As you guys know, we often have our sponsors, and these are local Black businesses here in the Philadelphia area. But I want to go on notice, and we're going to see more of this, in the next year, of supporting and having sponsorships and running commercials and ads for Black businesses across the country, because part of our crew is not just Philadelphia, it's a global crew. So I want to make sure you guys all know that. If you have any other businesses that would love to advertise, please have them contact us at connectionsmatterllc.com. That is the website. Contact us at connectionsmatterllc.com, or you can reach us at 215-789-6999, extension 1 or extension 2. I will put that up on the screen for those of you who have any small business that wants to advertise. Please let them know and contact us. All right, there we go.
Thanks, babe. Thanks, babe. Right. So let's get into it. Listen, we are going to, Morgan, did you drop the, he's going to drop the link. BJ said drop the link in the bio for the new book as well. That will help. Awesome. So we'll do that, BJ. Thank you for that. So finish strong. finish strong. Let's just do a little bit of a review, right? A little bit of a review about what we've learned. And as we're doing this review, I want you all to really think about what you've learned, how you've grown, how much power you really do have. You know, we talked about turning pain into power if we appreciate the process. Tell me about the process. We want to hear your story from the crew about what this has been like. And I'll start with myself. Early on in the process, yeah, I think it was probably the second week in March. I was going around the office cleaning door handles like they were telling us, cleaning the bathrooms in between sessions. And I sat down with Morgan, my husband, and I said, we're in the partnership together, and our sister Lucy at the time. And I said, this is not working. We've got to do something rapidly different and quickly, because I don't want to put anybody in harm's way. And during that same time, we were going to New York quite a bit, talking about this new virus, this new novel virus that no one knew about, and how to talk to your family about it. And so probably, I think it was March 12th, where we basically made the decision that we would go online. And our decision to go online, we said we'd do it for 2 weeks. We'd send out a notice to everybody, all of our clients, and say, we're going to do this for 2 weeks. And here are the instructions about how to go about doing it online. I was doing it with some clients already, but not everyone. And then we'll be back, right? That was the plan. And here we are 9 months later, we're really on the eve of the new year. And no one knew that we would still be in the midst of a pandemic. I didn't know. And there were a lot of things that I was very ignorant about. I hadn't read up on pandemics and the other viruses that have come about, like Ebola and H1, and Zika virus. I think there was one. They didn't impact me. And so I didn't really pay attention to it. How many of you are like that? If it's something that doesn't really impact you too much, then you focus on other things. So that's where I was. And once we shifted and I realized, we had to pivot, and I can do this. We can do this. We can continue to operate our business. They relaxed some of the online regulations for clinicians. We can do this. We can still help people while keeping ourselves safe. And that became the overarching goal. And once we started doing it, that's where, Courageous Conversations Connect space, this platform was born. Because if you all remember, in the very beginning, we were downstairs. We weren't on StreamYard. We were just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. We were on every single day. And we were just talking about, what do we need to grow through this experience? And here we are together, a part of the crew, 3 weeks from 2021, and we're healthy. We have so much to be grateful for. We have so much to be thankful for. And I think we've learned a heck of a lot about what we're made of, right? BJ, she says, reevaluate my relationships. Even with myself, I let go of fear. I accepted that I will struggle, but now know I will come out of it. I ask for help. I'm working on accepting myself as is. That is awesome. So thank you, BJ, for that. That's what BJ learned. Y'all know BJ as my very dear friend. We worked together at Drexel, and then she, went on to do great things. And, I eventually transitioned from Drexel, but we've maintained our relationship. And so it warms my heart to hear you saying that you've learned that no matter whether you struggle or not, that you're going to be okay, right? And also that we can ask for help. Y'all know that, and how many of you would kind of raise your pinky finger if you're one of the strong ones that sometimes people don't look out for you, or you've forgotten to look out for the strong one? I'm one of those people. And if I'll go and admit, sometimes I feel like there's not a whole lot of people out there, that sort of go check in, hey, how are you doing? I am fortunate to have great friends, some of them that are on this platform even this morning, BJ and my friend Kim and Carla. Like, there are people that do reach out. So I'm not saying that that's not the case. And then certainly this crew every Wednesday gives me life. So I feel like we're in a reciprocal relationship. It's simpatico, right? So that means that you all give me life and I give you life. And I know that you genuinely care. But there are some folk out there that really don't have that. And it's important that we share with each other. It's important that we talk about what we learned.
It's important that we honor our struggle and our strength. It's important that we honor the days where we have bad days and the days that we have good days, and that we celebrate our wins. CREW stands for Connecting Relationships for Epic Wins. So Nicole says connectionsllc.com. Is this correct? Morgan, put the correct the email in there. I think it's contact us at Connections Matter LLC. And to get the book, it's drrgconnects.com. But if Morgan can put it in the chat, that would be helpful. Helen said, I'm always saying, don't forget to include you on your schedule. Take care of self. Absolutely. So I want to go back and do a little bit of a review, and I want to do it from the perspective of, because this is our crew, right? So this is about finishing strong. If you all, I'll start off with some of the things that we've learned, and whoever in the crew remembers what we did or what we talked about, right? Then put it in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to start off with, what is your SSR? Remember, we did that like months ago, and I said, make sure that you create a schedule for your SSR. Anybody can tell me what do you remember the SSR stands for? They're clear, and it's something that even in this second wave, we need to revamp, recalibrate, and revise to make sure that we're actually doing our due diligence. So I'm going to wait for a minute for the book also. I think Nicole's talking about for the book. Yeah, that's drrgconnects.com. drrgconnects.com is where you go to purchase the new edition for the book. By the way, over the holiday, I'm going to be taking care of myself, but I'm also going to be working hard, not just on the new edition. We've already done that. We put out the new edition of the book and we did some revisions. But we're going to be working on a workbook, and there's some other projects that we're going to be launching for 2021. Namely, I believe we'll be launching a podcast, and we're going to be launching some new material on YouTube that you're going to really enjoy. So we'll be definitely working, but we'll be also doing a little play. I'll be sitting in front of the fireplace because Babe, the hubby, makes a amazing fireplace, a fire for me usually when I'm sitting in the living room and just chilling or what have you. So so happy for the new edition, Deborah says. So going back to, I haven't seen anybody put what SSR stands for. So, and I don't know if in our IG family you all remember, but if you don't, I'll give you a few more minutes, and then I'm also going to ask you, and I know y'all know this one, the 4 M's, right, and the 4 A's. Y'all remember what the 4 M's are and the 4 A's. If we're going to finish strong, we have to hold on to some of these things that we've learned during this process, and we have to utilize them to usher us into the next season, right? It may be the winter season, right? But it doesn't have to be a bad season. It can be a good season because hope is on the way, right? And then we talked about cutting ourselves some slack. All right, BJ's got that one. Mindfulness, movement, music, meditation, right? She's got 4 of the 5. That's interesting, BG, why you always forget the one, you forget meaningful engagement. So yes, the 5 M's are mindfulness, meditation, meaningful movement, meaningful engagement, and music. Why mindfulness? Because you've got to stay in the present. You wake up in the present, not focusing too much on the day before or the future we have no control over, but how can you stay present? Saying what you're grateful for, setting your intentions for the day, using the meditation as a way to relax the energy flow within your body, and meditating on positive things, how the day is going to transpire. The movement is you got to get your body moving. That's why we do the breathing exercises. Sometimes you can do some jumping jacks, run around the house, whatever you need to do to get that blood flow going. And then today is meaningful engagement. This is what we're doing right now. We're engaging with each other and having a meaningful discourse about how we can finish strong. And then finally, music is just healing. It's healing for the soul. So thank you, BJ, for remembering the majority of them. Morgan still owes me again. Yes, Morgan. Why do you keep forgetting BJ? What is that about? That needs to happen.
How did I forget? Wait a minute. What? How do I owe BJ?
Early on, when we were sending out cards, we were sending out gift cards to those people when we were doing games
Did
like
we
this.
never send BJ a gift card?
No, you didn't.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
No.
All right.
So now we owe her a double
My bad,
gift.
BJ. My bad. Okay. I'll make sure she gets her gift card. Absolutely.
You owe him a double. You owe her a
I
double
don't
gift.
want to upset BJ. I do not want to do that.
You can call her, ask her what she wants for Christmas.
What do you want, BJ? What kind of gift card you want? Type it in there. All right. I'm sorry. That's my error.
Carla says margarita ?
Margarita. No, that was the other M on the end of the 5M. She said, "Don't forget the margarita." Margarita. That's what that was.
That's cute. I like that. Margaritas. I could use some margaritas.
Wait a minute. Wait. All right. Like y'all trying to drag me now. Now, Nicole, what do you mean you never got your book? What do you mean?
She said,
I know I sent the book out to you, Nicole. I got receipts. Now, you didn't ever got it. I made sure.
Receive. So reach out to both of them. Reach out to BJ.
I'll make sure.
You got to resolve that before the end of the year.
Well, it's all good because the new edition, there was some little errors in the first edition. We understand, we know, but this was a self-published operation, and trust and believe, we'll never do that again. We had the rookie lesson when you self-publish. It's better to not be cheap and just pay for professional help because trying to the new book is re-edit and then re-edit, you're just bound to miss stuff. So you got to pay for professional help. And
but Morgan, I feel like I remember signing a book for Nicole.
So Nicole,
I wonder if it was the wrong place or something.
If you would just please DM me or email me your address, because we definitely sent you out a book, Nicole. So I don't know why. You never got it. So please.
Well, we'll send out another one.
No question about it.
Sure. Okay, so BJ is saying safety plan. Good, BJ. I'm not best. What did she say? I'm not the best at meaningful engagement. I love you guys regardless. I will order the second book. Awesome.
Website,
and Nicole says she's trying to purchase books for Christmas now. Website trouble. Okay, so you got to work with Nicole about that. She's going to send you the address. So let's go back to SSR, guys. SSR is self-care plan, safety care plan, and relational care plan. Remember that. What is your self-care plan? What do you need to do for yourself in the midst of the second wave? How do you need to take care of yourself? Do you need an exercise regimen? Do you need to hydrate better? Do you need to eat better? Do you need a good bedtime and a good wake up time so that you bookend your day? I always say bookend your day with the 4 M's: mindfulness, meditation, meaningful engagement, movement, and some music, right? Bookend your day that way. So if you need to revamp your schedule, do it. Do you need to purge? Part of finishing strong might be purging so that you go into 2021 in a different place in your organizational space. Because the truth is that most of us haven't had this even happen to us. We had to figure out what we were doing with our space, because the truth is we were living in a house, but we were spending the majority of our time outside of the home at work. And so then when we were thrust at home work, right? We were then here in our home doing work all the time and having to figure out, well, how do we create a space that works where we're actually creating workspaces, but also creating open spaces where we relax, or where we play, or where we have fun. The outside was a really fun place for us, where we were having our little fire pit and sitting on the porch. But in this region, it gets cold. So now we have to figure out what are our play spaces inside. And by the way, I'm not obtuse. I do also recognize that everyone is not fortunate enough to social distance, sometimes even in their homes. Social distancing can be a privilege. Some people are living in houses where they don't have multiple rooms where they can create spaces or what have you. So they have to find another way to create the peace within themselves. And so that's the mindfulness and the meditation is important. So again, the SSR is self-care plan. If you haven't done it yet, you still got 3 weeks left. Create a self-care plan going into 2021. A safety care plan is essential. The safety care plan has to do with what are the essential things that you need in your household. given that we're still in the midst of a pandemic? What are the agreements that you have with your family about what you will or will not do? How will you? I saw where Carla was creating a dinner, but I thought, Carla, I read where you were having separate tables so that people in their pods were at the same table and that you could keep them safe. And then you were having a chef to come in. I thought that was a wonderful idea of still celebrating, but doing it in a way that's safe. So you have to figure out, how do you keep yourself safe? How do you keep your family safe? How do you even talk with your kids about what things they may need to do, even in the second wave? Because the truth is, we are tired, right? We do have pandemic fatigue. We do have COVID fatigue. We do have social distancing fatigue. Everyone is tired. But like I said before, if this is a marathon, let's not give up when we're almost at the end, when we're almost through this, when we've managed to keep ourselves safe. And there's so many, to the tune of 300,000 people almost that have died due to this. And over 50 to 60%, I think that they're saying, are either people of color or people of color that know someone that has gotten sick or died, right? When we don't even make up the majority of the population. So what that means is that there's an overarching number of people of color that have been impacted disproportionately by COVID-19. And that needs to be rectified. So the safety care plan is essential. Self-care plan is essential. The safety care plan for you and your family is essential. I encourage people to sit down with your family members, your partner, and say, this is how it's got to be, just like Morgan and I do. And then figure out how everyone can have a voice at the table, even to externalize their emotions and their feelings about how this sucks, how they feel about it, and then move forward with a plan of action so that everybody can be on the same page. And then finally, the SSR relational care plan. How are you going to engage in healthy relationships? I saw on this show, Monica and Carla was like, we got to figure out how to connect, maybe do it in a socially distant, healthy way, right? So relationships are essential to our development and our well-being. Let's face it, guys, we were not born on a desert island by ourselves. We were not born on a spaceship. We were born as relational beings. That is a very part of our DNA and a part of our human fabric, if you will, right? If you had a baby and you did not give them engagement with, human beings, they would die from failure to thrive. They would die from failure to thrive with regards to connection to people. So we need people to survive and thrive. And in order to do that right now, right in through here, because this is not business as usual. We can't just go and do whatever we wanted to do. Yesterday, I went into the Rite Aid and I forgot that I had my mask on my neck. And I was like, oh, I got to put my mask up. So everything is different. But we still have to find ways to maintain healthy relationships. So your relational care plan, who are your besties? Who are the people that you love the most? Who loves you the most? Who are the people that are affirming to you? Make sure you have your inner circle. And by the way, I'm going to share a trick with you that I do and I share with everyone at the end of the season as it relates to relationships that can help you out as you get ushered into 2021. So that's what SSRI is. We've done the 5 M's, we've done SSRI. We still have to do the 5 A's, right? So think about that when we take our break before we come back, and Slack. So whoever does that, think about that. We want to make sure that we, don't fail to give out the gifts this year as well. All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Hey guys, it's Dr. RG here, yours truly. This is Courageous Conversations Connect, Quarantine Talks, and this is Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. Big shout out to my dad. Yesterday was his 85th birthday, so thank you all for all your well wishes and giving him wonderful birthday wishes. He had a great time, and he said he didn't even think that he would live past 40. He's like, he prayed for 40 years and he got 60, and then he prayed for 60 and now he's at 85. So he said, the other day he was very, 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 we had a wonderful conversation, and he said, to God be the glory. I give it all over to God that this is, I'm here. I want for nothing. I have everything I need. I have beautiful children that love me, and I give it all to God, and I'm a happy man. So that made me feel good to know that I've been a little bit of a gift to him. At least I was born on my parents' anniversary. So I always say that I'm the gift that keeps on giving. I came in on September 23rd on their anniversary, and I continue to, I think, be, the gift that keeps on giving. Dave?
Hey, listen, real quick, a little bit of administrative stuff. We're noticing that there is an issue in the back office when you try to go order the book. Just was informed by our IT guy. There is an issue with our shipping plugin. That's the technical term for it. So what I want you to do, just for this show only, okay? This show only, if you want to order the book, just Cash App the $20 for the book, okay? Cash App is at Morgan E. Wilson Jr., $20 for the book. Normally we add the shipping, but don't worry about it for this particular situation. The show, don't worry about the shipping costs. That's including the shipping. So just Cash App $20 to me. Just put in the notation for a book, and I will, just make sure it gets done. And also, when you put the Cash App notification, your actual address for the shipping. That is pretty much the best way I can kind of remedy the situation right now, because I cannot give you a definitive answer when that back office issue for the shipping plugin will be corrected. I can't say it will be corrected within the next 15 minutes or an hour or so. So if you want to purchase the book, Cash App the $20 to me at Morgan E. Wilson Jr. And then your note, put in, book, purchase, and your address, and I will make sure that you get the book. Hopefully that can take care of things. Or if you want to do that, if you want to put that, you can email your address to me at mw@connectionsmatterllc.com. Again, that's mw@connectionsmatterllc.com. And Cash App me the $20 that way, and without putting the notes information into the Cash App notes. All right. So hope that can provide some clarity, and we apologize for the back office issue. All right.
Thanks, babe.
All
Thanks,
right.
babe. All right. So BJ said, so we still had the cutting ourselves some slack. What does that sound like? What does that mean to us? And BJ's got it mostly right. All right, BJ. So part of it is loyalty, legacy, and longevity is a separate one that we talk about, where we think about our relationships, right? And how we need to maintain healthy relationships, and we shouldn't be in relationships past their expiration date for loyalty, legacy, or longevity, right? If those relationships are unhealthy, I don't believe in complete cutoffs, but I do believe that you have to have courageous conversations, and you have to begin to renegotiate if those relationships are unhealthy. Too often people stay in those relationships for loyalty. I've been loyal to this person forever, or legacy. This is what we do. We stay in relationships, or longevity. That's not the greatest reason to stay in relationships. But then pivoting to how we cut ourselves some slack, right? Slack stands for, how are you showing up? In this whole pandemic, if we're going to finish strong, we have to think about how have we showed up over the last 9 months, right? And we either celebrate that we've done the darn thing, or we say we still got more work to do. But how are we showing up in our workplace? How are we showing up for our family? How are we showing up for ourselves? How are we showing up in ways that are meaningful to the relationships that we already have? Okay. That's really, really important. And then the L stands for, how do we listen, learn, and lead? So BJ got one of those: leadership. How do we listen, learn, and lead? First, you got to listen to know if there's something that you need to hear, right? Or if something is not right, or what else there you need to do. And then learn from that. And we've learned a hell of a lot in 2020 for sure. And then how do you begin to lead? And we all can be leaders, right? MLK said everyone can serve because anyone can lead. I mean, everyone can be great because anyone can serve as well. So think about how you're listening, learning, and leading. Then it's the A, acknowledgement. I think this is the one where we fall short quite a bit, where we don't really acknowledge that we've made some errors. We don't really acknowledge where we've fallen short. We don't really acknowledge how hard this is, right? And we continue to push through. That's not really the answer. I want people to grow through. Of course, we're going to get to the other side, right? But we should learn some things along the way about ourselves and about other people, and acknowledge how we are moving forward to the next level, if you will. The C, commitment. BJ got that one right. Acknowledgement, commitment. Commitment is, are you committed to the long haul? This is hard. It is really, really hard. I think the reason why sometimes we fall short, even in relationships, is we're not fully committed, right? Be in it to win it. Being in it to win it is saying, like, no matter what, I will not quit. No matter what, I will not fail. No matter what, I will not stop. And I will continue to forge ahead to the other side to get to the end of our journey where we can celebrate these wins. So it's the commitment. And then finally, kind. I read a post the other day that said it is audacious, inspirational, aspirational, motivational, right? To just be kind. My mother used to say it this way, that it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And so focusing your energies on being kind to others, I think is really, really important. And, being kind to yourself, like, it's an radical act of self-care to be kind to yourself in your thoughts, in your actions, in your mission, in your work. Be kind to you. That's a radical act. The first chapter in the radical act of self-care. It's really a revolutionary act when you think about how are you going to be kind to you. And by the way, the people who are kind to themselves usually are kind to other people. If you haven't done this yet in this year, engage in a random act of kindness. You got 3 weeks left in this year. Do something for somebody else. I guarantee you what you will learn from that is that you're doing more for yourself than you ever thought when you're doing something for someone else. So that's slack. How do we cut ourselves some slack? Thank you, BJ, for remembering the M's, and remembering slack, right? And really thinking about the SSRs. How do we engage in self-care? How do we engage in a self-care plan, a safety care plan, and a relational care plan? I see all this stuff, and Morgan put a lot of stuff in the book. Cynthia Talley's on. Hey, Cynthia and Charla and Helen. Of course, BJ and Carlos on. I don't want to forget anyone. Nicole has been bantering back and forth, and Deborah as well, Foster, and Kimmy was on earlier. Dr. Gail, Monica has been on with us. Nancy as well. I just want to make sure that I call out everybody's name, because let me tell you something. The ways in which this crew has shown up, speaking of slack, right? Sometimes we got to cut ourselves some slack, but sometimes we have to pick up the slack. Sometimes we have to, make use of the slack. But the crew has shown up. We have shown up big time. Miss you too, Cynthia. We've shown up for each other. We've had ups and downs, right? I don't see a couple of people on here, but I know that they'll look later to see, what we've been doing. This community that we are creating has been amazing. We've been I think we've prayed for each other. We've laughed together. We've cried together. We've done a whole lot of stuff together in this last 9 months. And so this is not the end for sure. I think we're just midway stream, but I really do want us to reconcile what this has meant for us as a part of this crew. If you want more of this kind of content, if you all are thinking about what the ways in which we can support you, let us know, because Morgan and I are going to be thinking about over the next 3 weeks what we can continue to do to help our community. We've got quite a few projects that we're specifically working on that are not in its finishing stages yet, but they will be going into 2021, and then we'll actually share those with you. But if you have ideas about things that we can do, let us know. We're willing to do that. Babe?
Yeah, so actually on that note about ideas, we want to serve this crew, this community. So listen, if you guys have any show topics or topics you'd like to discuss, please let us know. Send them in. You can put them in the chat right here, or you can email us directly at contactus@connectionsmatterllc.com with your show topics. We're going to be doing more things like reaction videos, kind of spice this thing up a little bit more for you guys. Talk about current topics and events that are going on. Just like, for example, this morning we just viewed the latest table talk conversation with Jada Pinkett, her mom, and her daughter with the I can't remember her name. The young lady that the parents spent money to help her get into college. That could be a great show topic. So we want to have that kind of discussion and conversation with our crew and anybody else. So going into 2021, going to be some new exciting things, some more challenging. Remember the whole brand is Courageous Conversation Connect. So we're going to start having more courageous conversations. We're going to get really real with this platform, and let's talk about it. Enough with that soft pedaling, frilly stuff. We're going to really kind of challenge you guys a little bit and kind of, might piss you off. I don't know. You might make you a little angry about it. But what that's about is having intelligent, provocative discourse to kind of, have those courageous conversations and talk and touch on sensitive topics that's going to have you think, challenge your implicit biases about some things, and kind of really get the conversation ongoing and kind of bring this thing, just kind of open some things up a little bit. So that's going to be happening in the new year. And so please, if you have any show topics or some courageous conversation that you think needs to be addressed, none other than to have, there you go, this one right here to talk about it. She can have those. Well, there you go. She's the one to have the courageous conversations, and every now and then I'll add my little 2 cents in there. Hey, by the way, Miss Deborah, she got the recipe. I sent the recipe out for that seafood chili. So I will try to put that in the description or in the link some sort of way. I'll try to do that. But I did keep my promise for that, you guys.
Morgan, I have to send Morgan messages through text to say, like, now this is in the text. You have to remember to do it. You can go back to it through the text, and we all forget things every once in a while, or what have you. We're going to be doing something different too. Speaking of seafood chili, I asked Morgan, what's on our recipe? Well, what's on the docket for like holiday dinner? And since we did a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, instead of doing that, we're going to do all seafood. That's, and we haven't really done it that way before. Carla said the person you were talking about for the Red Table Talk was Olivia Jade.
Yeah, that's
Olivia Jade.
Yes, Olivia Jade. That's it.
That was very good.
Hold on, wait a minute. Who put that up?
Carla.
Where is it?
She's right above Charla. Carla.
Okay, wait. Okay, got it. That's it. Right, that's it. There you go. Yes. Olivia Jade.
Very good table talk. So that's the thing that we're going to start doing. And so that brings me to the this conversation that is culminating today. So what we've decided is we're going to take the next 3 weeks because, we're tired, right? So we're going to, that's the truth, right? We're going to take, I'm still going to be working, seeing clients. So if you know people that are interested in therapy, certainly reach out to us at 215-789-6999, right? Or contact us at connection1 Huh?
Extension 1 or extension 2. You have to
extension 1 or extension 2. Yeah. And then just reach out to us, and then we won't be taking too many more clients in this year, but we'll see where we have spaces available for 2021. And we are going to come back as a part of the show in January with a whole new kind of energy and with electricity and with ideas. And that's why Morgan is asking you for show topics. But we're going to take the next 3 weeks to just work on projects, relax a little bit. I'll be seeing some clients, of course, the clients that I already have on my caseload. I'm going to take a week in between Christmas and New Year's to just not do much of anything. And then we're going to come back. But we talk about everything, Morgan and I. There's nothing that we don't share with one another. And we sort of landed on, we've been working really, really hard, and we need a little respite. So that's what we're going to do. So this will be our last Courageous Conversations Connect space on Wednesday until the first week in January, when we actually come back, and we come back with some new energy. We're going to be thinking of some great things for you guys. And, we'll do a few cameos. So when we do our few cameos while we're taking a break, like, look out for us, because we may be in a different location. I might not be in my office. I might be downstairs by the fireplace, or I'm creating a new workout space in the den. And so I may be in there. So just look out for those cameos as well. Morgan, you were reading something?
She was just saying, Charlotte was just saying the daughter didn't realize her privilege. Yeah, that was the Olivia.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
and I still feel like I really want to talk about that, because you introduced it to me this morning. I hadn't seen it prior to this morning, but the daughter, yeah, she didn't. But I thought she did an excellent job for the beginning stages of her becoming more aware. I also thought that the mom, Jada Pinkett's mom, did a really good job of being honest with her struggle about why she should even have her on the show. And it sounds like her and Jada kind of went at it for a bit. They landed on having her on the show anyway. But my feeling is, yeah, she should have been on the show, because this is what the discourse is all about. And if there are more that hurt, think about the number. She's not the only person that is a privileged white young person who is clueless about what's going on in the world. And now, because she actually had this traumatic thing happen, she's starting to become more aware. So that was a good thing.
Yeah, the mom had asked her a really important question. She said, well, what about all the other friends, your bubble? Yeah, she kept referencing her bubble, which is the accurate situation. She had no clue, really. And, the grandmother kind of challenged her a little bit. Yeah, but, listen, it's been all over the news about, injustices, happening to Black folks. I mean, you can't be a social media content creator and not have known or had some. So the grandmother didn't really want to give her, let her off the hook. She really wanted her take some accountability. Not that she wasn't taking any accountability, because I will tell you, she came across very, very genuine in that interview. She seemed like, the typical, white person still caught up in that white privilege. It seemed like that young girl did a lot of work, still have room to grow, still has some growing to do and some learning to do. But it seemed like she genuinely and honestly did the work and was really there to really hold herself accountable. And so I think she's ready. But the key thing is, white folk, our brothers and sisters, got to call it what it is when some of the other brothers and sisters make the mistake and step on that third rail. They got to call it for what it is. And so that was the challenge that I think the grandmother was trying to convey to her in that moment. But a great, interesting topic. They were having the courageous conversation, which is pretty cool. And so, again, just please shout us out some topics that you might want to discuss. And some things that we can have our community kind of dive into a little deeper, Yeah.
And by the way, I just BJ said something. I just want you guys to know, when we did the new edition of this book.
Okay, there you go.
It's more revisions and edits. So the content is not drastically different. I'm working on something that has very different content. So if you have the book already, it's a great Christmas present for others, but you're not going to see a huge amount of difference in content. What you're going to see is we cleaned up some things, we clarified some things, we did some edits, and we paid for an editor to make sure that it was tight. So I just want to make sure that we're transparent. So if you do get it, you don't look in there and say, oh, this is the same content. It is the same content. We just want it to be more tight. Okay. BJ says, suggestion. What if we sent you our email addresses and you guys email?
We already have it. We already those in the crew. I remember earlier on when we first started doing this, and we continued throughout. We asked you guys to send us your email addresses, and I pretty much think we have most of you guys' email addresses, and there've been some contact with you guys already. So we do have an email list. If you don't think or you're not sure if we have it, then please just shoot me the email. All right. You shoot it directly to contact us at connectionsmatterllc.com. And that way we'll have the email address. And that's another thing we're going to be doing too, sending out the email blast. I'm going to incorporating this automatic text situation so that you guys will be text and notified as soon as we go live for any other content that we're doing on the platforms of YouTube and Facebook and IG. So we're going to be ramping up a lot of little things that's going to make this thing go better for 2021. So yes, shoot me your email address at contact us at connectionsmatterllc.com. Okay. And we can manage things that way. All right.
Yep. And BJ said, remind you guys when we're coming back. So January 6th, that's the Wednesday. Right after, that's the first Wednesday in the new year is when we will be back, and we'll be rolling, and we'll be doing even more things because, you know, again, we're working on these various projects. So there's going to be a lot more content on YouTube. I plan to do a lot more like short videos, like you all see in this space, talking about good mental health strategies and things like that. And also the reaction videos. So there's going to be a lot more content that we're pushing out in 2021. We feel like this was an opportunity for us to just get out there and continue to help people, but we're going to create a little bit more structure around it. And if you guys have ideas about that, let us know. We're looking forward to it. So listen, I want to Merry Christmas. Carla says to you guys, enjoy your time off. Thank you so much. Listen, guys, we know we love you and we appreciate, we know you love us. And we thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to just spend this quality time with you on Wednesdays. Prior to that, it was every day, and then we kind of slowed it down or what have you. But you're our family now, and we wish you a wonderful and safe holiday season. Please finish strong so that we can all come back together. We will send out, as Morgan said, some notifications so that when we do come on throughout the holiday season, that you'll know we're coming on, and know that we love you. If nobody else tells you today that you're loved, we love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Morgan, you want to say something?
No, I mean, listen, Archie says it. I mean, you guys have given us so much support, and we want to be here and create the content again. We started this thing off just trying to address having conversations around the pandemic and the racism and the election and all that kind of stuff. It just kind of morphed into this thing organically. So we love it. We love doing it. You know, I know we started off like every day because we felt like there needed to be some daily interaction to kind of soothe and have the conversations and so forth. So we did that. And then we went from every day to 4 to 3 and it got to be, because it's just a lot, because we still work and function and run a business, you know, so we had to kind of like, I know she hates this, she hates me in my hands, and like, it drives her insane. Goodness gracious.
Y'all know we still cut up, right?
Oh my God, it drives me insane that I drive her insane with my movement. Like, I know, boom, it's like, man.
I love you, babe.
You're the TV person. You got some stone face, you know. Hi, I'm Ted Couple. You stand there and do all, yeah, that's what you got.
Okay, babe. All right.
Anyway, oh man, this is hilarious. But anyway, we've given you guys the comic relief, right, for the week, right? Oh man. Listen, love you guys. Thanks so much for the support. Listen, you guys take care, be safe. As RG said, we will come back, you know, and maybe make a cameo here and there between now and the end of the year. Okay, but we love you much. Take care, be safe, and we out.
Have a beautiful day.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.